All right, YouTube, what's going on? We have a low tape, mid tape for y'all today. Mid tape, low tape. Mid tape for y'all today. Cutting the hair down, we got a waver, an elite waver. So normal cut, normal, natural, no enhancers and nothing like that. So let's get into it. First thing we always want to do, obviously, is comb the hair up, lift the waves up off of the scalp so we can get ready to cut it down. So whenever you do like to do waves, what I like to do is comb with the grain. Comb with the grain. The comb is still going to lift it up off of the scalp so you can get a nice, clean cut whenever we cut the hair down. So right now we have on a 1.5 level all the way closed, and it's kind of good to start off with a big guard first, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. You start off with a big guard, see how the hair reacts to it, and then right after that, what you want to do is, I'm already knowing we're going to go down. We're going to go down with a 1 guard. But I'm just showing y'all, it's always good to go down with a big guard first, just so you don't cut too much hair off, because you always take care of it, but you cannot bring it back. But we're going to do a number 1 guard all the way closed. Boom. And we're just going to go from the back of the skull all the way to the front in one movement. One movement, my bad, y'all. And boom, just keep repeating the process. And we're going to cut all the hair the same exact length, going with the grain. And you want to be very careful when you go to the crown part of somebody's hair, because the crown is the most sensitive part, or densest part of somebody's hair whenever you're a waver. So you want to be very, very careful. What you can do, you can throw back on the 1.5 guard, or you can keep on the 1 guard, but open up the level all the way. Opening up the level all the way allows us to kind of just play with it. Play with it, cut the hair down without cutting too much of the hair off, without the hair just physically disappearing. And you can kind of work your way down. Close the level. I'm moving the level down like this. Y'all can see. You got to pay $25 for item. Boom. Make sure y'all can see real quick. So that's your $10 that I pay $20. Let's see. And then you just continue closing the level and cutting the rest of the hair down. So on this in particular client, whenever we get to the top of his head, cut the whole head down 1 guard. But right here, his hair kind of likes to go everywhere, which will kind of be like a calic. Which is a calic. So a calic is when the hair doesn't grow where the rest of the hair wants to grow, or with the grain. So you kind of got to be careful right here. Maybe open up the level all the way, cut it down first. A lot of people like to go against the grain, depending on cut with the grain, going in the direction of where the calic wants to go. Because sometimes with a calic, if you cut it down too low, it'll make a bald spot or a light spot in the client's head, line up wherever the calic may be. So you kind of want to be cautious of that. So now we're going to just take our brush. This is a waving brush, and this is what's going to get all of the excess hair off of our client. All the excess hair. Boom. Get them waves in. Get it laying down, and we're about to use the comb and lift it right back up. I use the comb whenever I blend, just because I feel like it's a lot better, or the transition comes out a lot better. So now the next step is what we're about to do. We're about to set in our guidelines. We're not going to use our trimmer. This is our trimmer we're going to be using. Boom. These are the low pros. Low pros with this modified blade I got on now. So we're going to be setting in these guidelines with our clippers. The reason why we're setting it in with our clippers is so it doesn't create a harsh guideline. Put your head down for me. Go right down. Boom. Put this on our client. Hold up, y'all. Boom. Level all the way closed. Going up about right there where the hair is the most thickest at for her. And then now what we're gonna do, make sure the guideline is pretty straight. Go back in, take a step back, look at it. Even the guidelines have to be straight, y'all. Boom. Now we're gonna go back in with our trimmer. And just make that even more bald. But we're not working our way up all the way to this line. We're stopping right below the line. We just want everything to have that nice, clean look. So right now, what we're gonna do, take this brush, level all the way open. Every time we do something new, throw on a new guard, level will be always all the way open. All the way open. And you only go up enough room based off of your client's head and how much room does he have to fade. So when I cut it down with a 1 guard, I know the highest guard that I will be using will be a 1.5, 1 guard, half guard, and then where we're at right now, whenever I start my fading down process. So lever close, I started all the way open. Now we're going to lever a little bit close, and we're just moving down. So moving down, moving down, moving down, moving down. Close the lever, move down till we get all the way back down to the bottom. So right there. Now we're gonna move to our comb, get our 1.5, level all the way open. Just like that. You don't have to go too far up, just enough room, because now we'll be working down from the 1.5, the 1 guard, and the 0.5. The 1.5 is always 1.5. You have to see that. 1.5. You're gonna zoom in a little bit for y'all so I can see everything. This is the guard underneath the 2 guard and right above the 1 guard. We're not really using any type of motion for real, flick out motion. We're just going on the scalp and cutting the hair. Just like that. Combing everything down, closing the level. Now we're starting to move down with our fading down process. And y'all, I like to do one section at a time. I don't like to flip over to the side of the head, do the side taper, do the back taper, and whatever all at the same time. It's just gonna increase your time when it comes to cutting hair. So, boom. Now we're throwing our 1 guard. And right where we had left off with the level all the way closed with that 1.5, we're starting with our level all the way open with our 1 guard right there. Boom. Now we start closing the level once you feel comfortable and you feel like everything is fading. And as we go, we're going to detail. Detailing is turning your clippers to the side and basically dividing pieces of hairs that look like it's just big clumps of hairs all in one spot. Detailing is how you get that next level blend, or how you get your blend to stand out more than your competition, more than other barbers. Or if you want that Instagram ready photo, detailing is how you do it, brother. Boom. Now we're at the bottom of the taper. As y'all can see, there's a faint line, a light little line, but this line will be taken out from our half guard, which is the 0.5. So they got the 1.5, the guard after the 1 guard, the bigger guard after the 1 guard and before the 2 guard, and then you got your 0.5. The 0.5 is the smallest guard, which would be considered a 0 guard in any pack. So now what we're going to do with our 0.5 guard is close the lever all the way, boom, close the lever all the way, and touch this line right here. You're just touching at this line, just nudging at it, trying to make it disappear. It's going to create another line. Don't be confused with this other line that you're about to create. That's just going to happen, but that's going to be taken care of when we open up the lever all the way and continue to fade down from where we left off from with that 1 guard. It's a pretty simple and easy process, y'all. We're detailing as we go. Just like that. Look at that blend. Boom. Now we're going to use the corner just so we don't create another line. Use that rake down technique. If y'all don't know about the rake down technique, it's a technique without the guard And y'all, I'm just playing with this wire. Boom. Y'all, I gotta get some hooks for my wires, so my wires will be everywhere. Cause I really enjoy cutting with wire clippers. I have no idea why. Close the level, and basically you're going in the way of the hair with the grain and just smoothing out the blend. You have to be very, very careful with this. You always want to start the level all the way open. And it's all about what type of clipper you're using it with and about how much pressure you're putting on the client's head whenever you're doing this technique. But this 100% works. It smooths out the blend and it makes that picture perfect, ready blend just come together. But you have to be very careful with this. It doesn't really work with too many clippers. Kind of just gotta test out your clippers. Start pretty low on the fade if you're not too sure if your clipper is a clipper that works. But Wall Scenes is always working with this technique. And boom, look at that. Look at that. Close the level a little bit. And we're gonna work out a little bit right here, detailing. Just making that blend come together a little bit more smoother. And then what I've learned over the time from these past couple months is a technique like this. Level all the way open. And let me show y'all. And instead of putting the blade on the client's skin all the way, you tilt it like this. And this works in between that 0 guard or that 0.5 guard and that 1 guard. And basically just flick out. And this removes that line or that bolt right there. You don't want to go too high though. Touch it right here. Open up the lever, touch right here, and boom. Nice, clean, fade. All right, now we on the sides. Same exact thing. Yo, I'm trying to get this wire right. Coming with a wire clipper is insane. I know why they switched to cordless. So boom. Remove all this, and we're doing the mid tape. Usually it's a little bit harder to set in that line with the mid tape. A low tape is preferably started lower. You start that first guideline. Mid tape is somewhere up here, and I like to use a curve like this. We're gonna set it in with the trimmer this time. A slight curve for the side. Just like that, y'all. Want to make sure this line is perfect and even. By even, I mean both sides of the curve. You don't want it to be like a straight line and then a curve. Just make it a curve all the way through. Just like that. Now we do the same exact thing. Brush. Zoom in for y'all. And keep in mind, whenever you're working on the side of somebody's head, we're only going to be using predominantly the left side of our clipper. And these are the Wall Senior corded clippers. And I'm going to start moving the lever down. And yo, whenever I'm fading, my phone's ringing, y'all. But whenever I'm fading, I kind of stretch the skin or pull the skin down just a little bit. That helps me fade a lot better. All right, my mind helps me fade a lot better. So 1.5. We're at the top of the blend, and we're keeping that same shape like this. That's what we want. We want that same exact shape. That's gonna make the cut way cleaner. And then for a low tape or a mid tape, we predominantly want to preserve this right here, this C cup, or the hair by the C cup. Just so that line can stand out a lot more. Going down, fading, and every time we fade, we're making sure we comb. Remember, whenever you're working with this, make sure this side not, cutting anything right here. That's why we're using the corners. Corners are the right side of the blade, and you can use the whole blade when on the left side. Just like that. 1 guard. It's all about control, y'all. Y'all want to have great control whatever you're cutting your hair on somebody's hair. Knowing what angle to hold the clipper, using the corners, detailing, brushing as I go, level all the way closed. Detailing is one area I see right there. We're gonna move with our 0.5. We're gonna move back to our brush real quick. All the way closed. Just like that, open up our level, and then continue our fading down process. Detailing, fading down. Take a step back, look at everything for what it is, so you can really see the blend for what it really is. Just like that. Take our comb everything, get everything lifted off, and start our rake down technique. And this technique really, really works, especially when you're getting that picture perfect blend haircut. Y'all want to promote it on your Instagram, anything. Y'all want the best cuts. Y'all want people to come look at y'all page, look at the best cuts, and then come book with y'all. And that's it right there. Everything truly comes out whenever we set in these lines. So we're going to do the same exact thing for the other side of the taper, and then we're going to show you the lineup process and my lineup step. All right, now y'all, it's time for the lineup process. So we don't have any pads or alcohol pads, so I might be able to relate to a lot of y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a neck strip, roll it out, get some alcohol, spray some alcohol on now, and wipe down the designated area that we will be lining up in the back of our client's head by his ears and everything. All them little spots, do both sides. And what you could do, if you don't have the next steps that I'm about to do, you could go ahead and wipe all this, wipe your whole entire client's head down. So his front lineup and everything. But we do a little bit of different process. We're going to use this Code L. I'm going to zoom out for y'all so I can see. We use this Code L, hot blast. And then we're going to use our holding spray. We're using level 3 holding spray. Don't really spray too much. I like to spray the entirety of the head sometimes. Do not spray too much, especially if you're spraying the whole entirety of the person's head. So, and y'all, today is a booked out day. We're a little bit behind. So, yeah, I was behind, y'all. So, that's a booked out ball before you. How you doing? How you doing? Um, Now, if y'all don't have the equipment for this part, just go ahead and wipe down this whole entire lineup real quick with that alcohol and holding spray. You could just continue with the line or, fast forward to whatever it is that you do. But you really only need that part: alcohol, holding spray, and Code Up. Make sure y'all cutting and Code Up, bro. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Make sure y'all cutting and Code Up. So right here, this is the next step to make your cuts get on the next level, brother. Make your job a lot easier. So, and it's relaxing for the client. You can upcharge for this, raise your prices. So, boom. We're going to be using our lather, cream, and a hot towel. I have a hot towel warmer cabinet. And you just simply place it on the top of our client's head. Our client will not be getting any enhancements. So this kind of helps with that process, makes it a lot easier. I know y'all can't see nothing, bro. Hold on. We're going to do that. This will make it a lot easier for us, our client, make it look a lot better as well. So, you just let it rest on that for about a minute or two. Boom. And I only do 30-minute appointments, so it don't really take too long for it to kind of work in effect. And you just lift it up. Lift it up. What we're going to do, we're going to put this hot towel inside of a basket or bucket, whatever put it inside of a place where your dirty towels go. Respray the alcohol pad, put more alcohol on it, and then wipe down the places that we will be lining up. If y'all don't have the steps that I just had, then y'all already ahead of the game. You're already, starting on the lineup. Y'all on this step right now with me. So, and then now what you do is, and you go with the grain, where the hair wants to go, y'all. Don't go against the grain. Don't start scrubbing or anything like that. Make that lineup lay down. The hot towel and lather allows the hair to lay down a little bit more smoother than it would lay. It allows us to manipulate the strands of hair so that we can be able to successfully line it up. This helps a lot of people, especially when you're starting to, do all natural haircuts, man. I know some of y'all heart might start pounding fast whenever somebody come up in there and ask for all natural. But this helps, man. And no matter how bad somebody's lineup is, this is going to give them that crisp look that they want. We're going to use that level 3. Whenever you're applying holding spray, spray the hair. I'm spraying right here, and this burst is such a big burst of holding spray. It's landing on the liner part as well, just so we don't get all that excess holding spray. I know they don't teach us, y'all. I know they don't teach us, but just so that excess won't get all on the forehead and make the forehead all buku shiny and stuff like that. Y'all, this is something that's new that I've been trying for the last past a couple weeks. I probably won't teach this in another video, this one. So this is all for my real subscribers who watch all the way through. So that's very, very important, y'all. It's very, very important. And we're just gonna blow dry it till it gets all the way dry. So all the way dry. You need the skin dry, you need everything dry. You don't need no moisture. If you have moisture on your client, or your client sweating or anything like that, you can wind up breaking the skin with your trimmer. So that's why it's always important to do cold air. Cold air is key. And that's why I don't use no gloves. It's easy to tell when everything is dry. So lean our client out. And now we're going to start our liner process. Look how good this is about to look, y'all. Y'all, I want to get a corded pair of liners. Watch this. Boom. Right there. Right here. Everything below that, we just take it down. And we're going to use our pointer finger to kind of go around this edge. We're going to work up our way a little bit more than right here. That's smooth that is. Then everything below that, we're only touching the trimmer with the right side. We was only using that right side right there. Look how clean everything comes together. Sometimes the cut don't look finished until you put the lineup in there. The lineup is when everything starts to stand out and pop out a lot more. Just like that, I like to use the brush for this part just to brush this hair from off the back of his neck and stuff like that. Look how clean that looks, y'all. Boom. We're gonna zoom up a little bit, zoom out a little bit. And the important thing right here, down for me, is make sure both sides is coming in evenly. So on this side, we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna turn our client a little bit so y'all can see. Look at the placement, make sure both lines is even. And then we're gonna continue with that curvature. Right there. Flip our trimmer over. Get all this excess off. Just like that, y'all. Just like that. We're gonna up this part right here a little bit just so it can flow a lot better. We need that flowness to it, y'all. We need that flow. Just like that. So now we're about to do, sit at the bottom of the C cup, create the bottom box, and then come to the bottom and then make both sides meet. I like to set in my C cups, I like to go up in a straight line and then start curving it out. And this right here may not be the finished product, so if y'all, catch yourselves while going back and, redoing the steps that y'all just did is okay. It's normal. Everything is just a rough draft. So right here, go to the opposite side. We want everything to be even. Take a step back. Make sure both sides are even. And then come to the bottom. Do the same exact thing. Go up and over, add that curve, and make both sides meet. And all this excess, we just cut it off. Just like that. Now we're going to lower the chair. Because I am only 5'11", so boom, not that tall. And this is the important part. We're going to do a proof check, make sure both sides even. Right down. I'm going to touch up this side. Get the C cup in a little bit more. Just like that. Look at it from the front. Go back to this side. Make sure this side is C cup in a little bit more. All right. So now what we do is start in the middle, y'all. Start in the middle and then work your way over to the weak side. The weak side is the side that grows the least amount of hair. So we can judge or, if we need to take the strong side back a little bit or not, just to match both sides. Our client has a pretty strong line, has a very strong line. So now, which is good for the barber, we can work our way to whatever side we want. Take a side back, do a few steps, not just take a step back, go back in, make your micro adjustments. A micro adjustment is a small adjustment that'll get the liner back on track. Because sometimes I find myself working down or working too, I always make sure I work down. I never really work too high up. I always make sure I go on a slant just so I don't cut too much hair off. That's how I prevent from pushing somebody's lines, back. So work our way over to the side, so you incline to the side. And now we're going to slant our trimmer just to get that perfect boxy shape that we want. Just like that. Boom. Turn your client to the front. You should have a perfect straight box lineup. And now all you do is match the opposite side with this side. We're going to touch it up just a little bit more. Now, when I say micro adjustment, I literally mean a micro adjustment, a small adjustment. I'm trying to tell y'all, a small adjustment will completely dictate how the hairline will come out or how the hairline looks in the end. Now we're going to slowly start working our way over to the opposite side. When working to the opposite side, you only want to use that side of the trimmer. So because we're working on the left side, we're touching the left side trimmer and working our way over. Not all the way over. What we're going to do now is stop, come to the vertical ball, look where this vertical ball placement is at, and then match them both to make them even. Phone just like that. What's up? Just like that, y'all. Cool check, make sure everything is good. What we're gonna do is Just small, baby, tiny adjustments, y'all. Small adjustments. And then that is it. What we're gonna do now is lean our client back, show y'all the razor work, and that'll be it. All right, y'all. This is the biggest part right here. Whenever doing an all natural client, is the razor work. The razor work that I like to do, I like to create a slight perimeter of ash around the line. It's kind of the same thing as the white pencil, but this is just a nicer, cleaner look than having a pencil on somebody's head. Y'all, I got away from using the pencil. I'm more so like I like my work to be kind of clean, well, very clean. So I got away from using the pencil, y'all. Just like that. All right, y'all. We got a nice, clean mid-tape for y'all. Every step, simple steps for y'all to follow. But it's HYB. If you're not handling your business and what you're doing, and we out.
Benny, please don't do anything crazy.